Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Destry Wade here at the Homeless Surfer Channel. Welcome back to my home for the moment. I call myself the Homeless Surfer, but I still have a home, but not my own. Anyway, welcome back. I wasn't going to even do this today. It's Sunday. Um, but I was thinking of, hey, maybe I should go to a meeting. And then I thought, no, I'm depressed. I think a meeting would just make me more depressed. Um, Yeah, I think it's better to talk to you guys just because I'm sad today. I'm just sad from the standpoint that the kids left yesterday, headed to Utah. Such a mixed emotion. I'm so happy for them. I really am. Um, and like many things in life, you're more mourning for yourself than you are for them. You know, I missed them. I've already missed them. But and the thing is, I've already talked to them more now than I did when they were living here in the last 12 hours, 24 hours. Kind of took the trip with them a little bit. So, and, it, and it's really cool to see your children to take the pride in the fact that they do. We did teach them to make the right decision sometimes, and she always has. And this is a huge step. Deciding to jump 2 states away, pack up your family, pack up your home, and start your life the way that where you're starting on a good foundation. And I'm proud of her for doing that because that's scary. She was nervous as heck yesterday when she was leaving. She started crying, and I told her, "You can't do that. This is a good thing. You know, the kids got their own space. You guys got your space. You got good people around you. Community is one thing about Utah's. The communities are very strong as far as especially with kids and hanging out together, and they still play in the front yard out there. Unlike here in California, nobody's playing in the front yard anymore. But it's the way it is. So yeah, on that side of it, I'm so happy for them. And then you look at the other side, which is the selfish side. I'm mourning their loss. I'm going to miss them. But that's for me to worry about, not to put on to somebody else. Um, an interesting thing happened today. I went across the street to buy my coffee, and there's this kid there, and he's ringing me up, and he's telling me how hard life is. Life is tough. I'm like, life is tough, and I could tell he's just venting because he's not where he wants to be. This isn't working the way he thinks it's supposed to, and it's frustrating him. And he's starting to show that frustration outwardly to even his customers. And I'm a good customer. I do these guys for years and years and years. But he's just having a bad day, realizing that maybe life isn't going to go the way you thought it would, but it never does. You're walking a road, and we each have our own road. We choose our own road. That's why every one of our experiences is a little bit different as we travel that road. Um, we experience what's there, and it's an individual thing. I don't want to sound selfish or tell people that in my opinion, you should do this. But I really believe working on yourself first, making yourself the best you can be, and that's from inside. It's not what people tell you. People aren't going to give you the affirmation you want. They just aren't. They're seeking affirmation. They don't want to give it out, and if they are, typically a lot of times it's ask you some affirmation. If you ever tell somebody you look good, so they'll tell you back. Yeah, I think we've all done that at least one time or another. Oh shit, we're having a wind advisory today. I know a storm's coming in, but sorry, it just popped up on my screen. A wind advisory. That sucks. If it blows from the east to the west, oh, it's going to be harsh. But it's not. The good news is the storm's coming in from the north, so it's going to blow from the north to the south and then east. So yeah, the ocean mist doesn't fire up the allergies like that damn Santa Ana does. But anyway, I digress. But man, oh yeah, like I said, walking this path, there's going to be bumps in it. That's life. The one thing we have at our age is understanding that hey, for all there is in life, there's good stuff and there's bad stuff. I mean, there's days where you had your child, you were at the birth of your child. That was one hell of a day. Talk about joy and emotion and everything that goes with that. What a day. And then you probably had bad days. I had a wedding day that was incredible, one of the best days of my life as well. Lots of pictures, videos, everything. Make sure we uh, commemorate this day. And we did. Then I had on the same token my divorce day, which was the saddest day, where I signed paperwork and we didn't do it together. We were still young and hot headed and mad, and I was going to prison, and she was basically being left alone with a boy, uh, with no help. Because I can't do anything in prison. I can't help. There's no financial assistance. So there was a lot of animosity at that point in time, and rightfully so on her part. But so it's the good with the bad, and that's the important thing that I try to remember every day when something happens that I don't expect, because you don't really. I think with age comes the wisdom to expect there's something coming up. My father-in-law always said, save money for the refrigerator when it breaks. Didn't get what he was saying till now, till later in life, after a refrigerator actually broke, or a window broke, or the car that needed some repair all of a sudden, or you always have something that's going to pop up unexpected, and that's just on the physical part of life, but also on the journey. There's going to be things that happen that are going to be hard to deal with. Some people just never do deal with them. They kind of try to skirt past them, but it's still biting their ass as they leave, or as they walk down the path of life. They're still hurting them, and it's tough to get over sometimes. It really is, but it's imperative. It's why we're here. We got to figure it out, and it's in you. And there's more help out there than you'll ever realize, because you're sometimes, a lot of us have not been led properly to communicate with the powers that created us, and they're there. Like I said before, man, I'm a very reluctant dude to talk about this shit. I really don't like it. It's not my thing. But unfortunately, I had the experiences I've had, and I don't have a choice. And I hear that around me right now too. There's a fervor about, people are more vocal now about their beliefs and their spirituality than ever before. Like I say, I don't do religion. Religion's a man thing. Spirituality's this thing, from your heart to your there. But yeah, it's that. And that's what's important. That's what you got to find, because within that is all the answers the religion's trying to tell you. You'll just stumble upon them. Then you can go back to religion and go, oh shit, man, they were right about this and this and this, but they're a little off on that one, because you're gonna have the answer yourself. You got to get the answers yourself. You can't do a third party call to heaven. You got to do a single call, direct, and they'll take collect calls too. So get on the phone and talk to your creator and figure out, as life comes up, how to get through it, because there's a path that you're on. You were set there the minute you were born. That's it. And now you're walking the path. It's a physical being that we are for a minute, but it is for a minute. This is eternity. I guarantee you, the 80 to 100 years in your life that comes and goes, which I can say this as a 60-year-old boy, that those years hauled ass. I used to hear old people say that all the time. Never got it. You get it later, man. It's like, holy shit, dude. 2000. I remember New Year's Eve 2000. Me and my wife chose not to go out. You know why? Because the news was saying they're going to shoot everybody and shit. They were coming from LA to kill us, and they were going to shoot guns in the air, and the bullets would have to fall back to the earth, and you just might get struck in the head. Now, we opted out. We're like, oh, let's just stay here and drink together and have fun, which almost worked. But then, you get drunk and stupid, and then all of a sudden you're having a fight on New Year's Eve instead of having fun. Ugh, never did work out when you had that shit involved, I swear. But anyway, like I said, one of the things I was thinking of today was going to a meeting, but AA is great. And I would never say anything bad about it, because I 12 stepped. I had to. Sorry, my video's cutting in and out. I don't know how it's going to come out. Hopefully not like that. I hate those videos on TV when they used to do that. But anyway, yeah, flipping. See, I lost my train of thought. I'm thinking off again. I do that. Dang it. Yeah, but oh no, the 12 steps. Yeah, I totally support that, because I've 12 stepped and I did it right, and it worked. I got years of sobriety under my belt in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, from working with AA and actually doing the program right. But I can tell you this: AA is nothing more than a spiritual development program. Same thing as going to church. They call it a 12-step, church calls it repentance. Same damn thing. It's words and verbs that we constantly mess around and screw up especially in the English language. Language is cheap. We don't even use words for the right thing anymore, specifically, and we never did. I was told by my brother, who's a linguist, that the hardest language in the world to learn is English because we have so much slang. We don't just say what needs to be said. We got to put different pop culture shit into it. And I do it all the time. Sorry about my hair, man. Like I said, I've been depressed. I've been taking a shower since they left yesterday, and I'm not interested. I don't have the energy probably today. Get up tomorrow and start fresh, new week, new things going on, uh, run in the right direction. And that's the good thing. Like I was telling my daughter, man, for the first time ever in my entire life, am I in a position now to actually just thrive at life? I've got a lot of the answers. I don't have to worry about too much of that. I got the experience to know what not to do. I know what I'm looking for. I don't have any responsibilities as far as children or work or support or any of that stuff. They're doing it themselves. Thank heavens, that's awesome. I'm getting more and more happy with my parenting skills as I watch my daughter make the right decisions. It makes me feel a little better. And yeah, so um, golly, don't you hate that? Brain farts kill you. Oh, but anyway, what we're talking about? Jesus. Anyway, I lost it completely. I'm tired too. I've been up thinking about all this stuff, and yeah, it's definitely wears on you. It's wearing on me a little bit, but hey, it's good. It's good. Oh, taking a shower. We'll get that tomorrow. Something like that. I was over there somewhere, drift with me if you will. Oh, and please remember, I keep forgetting this part. Like, share, and subscribe. So important, you guys. We're building this community. It really is. It's building. I check it once in a while. I was watching all the YouTube people, and they say, "Don't watch that stuff. It'll drive you crazy." And I can see how. Like, oh, I got 2 new friends. Great. Yeah, you got a lot of work to do, bro. You got to. First of all, you got to reach people, and second of all, you got to be somebody that people want to listen to or sit down and chat with. Hopefully, in the long run, that's what we're doing rather than me just talking at you. I think it's very important that way. So, but anyway, life has got the roads and we're on them. And, the little speed bumps, got to take them and move on from them and keep looking forward on the positive side of things. Like I say, I'm, uh, I'm able to now just run. And that's the goal is just run this thing. Get Be Best Me Meet Family Media up and running. I've actually even got all this. You remember that thing I showed you the other day where it was 2 pages, and this whole book is amazing. This whole book has been almost completed. Now, what you're seeing here, sort of, I'm just like waving it. Huh? it's it's the corporate plan, man. There it is, right there. Look here, I'll show you. See, that's the flow sheet for Be Best Me Media. All the productions that we're going to make, all the time periods it's going to take, the finances we're going to need, and I'm starting to go that direction now. Yeah, Homeless Surfer, we started from zero like a month and a half ago now. Great. In a month and a half, we've done amazing things with absolutely $0, other than a few panhandles. Some of you out there might even be watching me because it's panhandle and I was passing out little cards with my YouTube channel on. And somehow, I think that's kind of working because I'm picking up a lot more people lately. I think you guys are liking, sharing, and doing all that good stuff that we need you to do. Because remember, we're a community here. And if we can work together, we can be fun. We can all be okay. It, and the world's changing, so we got to change with it and adapt. And I really believe that by creating these communities where we're working together in all manner of ways, you're going to see a big difference in all of our situations. High tide brings up all boats. And it's time. It's time we get that water under our boats and start floating them because things are changing. Things are changing drastically. And in the long run, you got to remember something. If you're Christian or anything like that, you understand there's not going to be a president. There's not going to be a Congress or a Senate or a judicial system. There's going to be one leader, one charge. That's it. And he will have the only answers and the only say. So we're not going to be working anymore. It's going to change. It's going to change so much. I can't even express it to you because I can't. I've seen pieces of things, but that's it. As most of us, you only get little pieces here and there, but those pieces are huge if you're listening to what they're telling you to do. And this is one of those pieces, you know? I think nobody's going to listen to somebody telling them that you got to kind of give a little more back, as weird as that sounds, especially coming from a homeless person that got no money and actually counts on, at times, has had to count on churches to feed him. That's not going to work out when people want to have good advice about, hey, how do you get through life? What's helping you do this? That's what's going to, my success is allowing God to show that he can do this. And trust me, what's going to be even crazier is when we get outside and you start meeting people and you understand who I am and who I am out there versus who I am here. And those people are going to be turned because they know for me to turn, that's a huge freaking thing. It's one of those biblical stories, the crazy prodigal son that somehow turned around and found God. Changed a lot of people because if he found him, shit, he's got to be real because this dude he don't do fake shit. I do educate. It's all in your head. Like I said before, even the whole coma thing is still times I think about it like that wasn't even real. It was just bullshit. But no, I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't. I've tried to discount it. I've tried to get it. I've tried everything to make it go. Nope, and it ain't going. And it's also keeping me straight. I mean, one of the things I was promised if I could stay sober, it was pretty easy after the heart attack because it became a physical issue then. Now I don't want to die. I'm not going to kill myself. That's just no matter what. That's not an option. So stop drinking. But there's a reward at the end of that because the organization in my head, that the ability for me to think again is coming very clearly more and more. I know the brain farts don't help show that illusion, but it's really there and I can feel it and I can see it because I'm thinking a lot. My dog sits there and looks at me like, where are you at? Because I'm drifting off in thought and building this thing over and over and stepping forward because you got to see it first. You got to see it here and here to make it happen on this thing. This ain't going to happen if you don't know it's going to happen here first. You got to believe in it because no one else is. No one's going to believe in your idea. And you're going to ask people, look at Shark Tank. Some people get shot down, man. Their whole dream is hanging on these guys' decision and they shoot them down. Is their dream over? Hell no. It's just getting started. That's where the good part starts, man. So, anyway, I'm going to let you go. Sunday afternoon, I'm going to enjoy probably golf. That's a shitty time of the year. You got nothing on TV like to watch. Old movies that I've already seen a million times. You got golf, bowling, maybe basketball, but probably not because I don't pay for TV. So I don't have free TV. I don't get it. So yeah, I probably don't get the NBA, but that's the closest thing to a sport you can even watch this time of year. Baseball's not yet. Football just ended. Oh, bummer, man. Oh, you got NASCAR, but I just never thought it was fun to watch cars go around and around. The crashes are kind of cool, but just going around and around, I just never got into. But that's me. I'm ADD. I can't sit still that long to watch a 4-hour race. It's like I can't watch golf either, man. 18 holes is really slow when you're sitting watching it on TV. But anyway, you guys have a great Sunday. We'll talk again tomorrow. I'm gonna get some big announcements going so that we can really start seeing this thing rock. Send you to different places where you can find the work that I've created, and hopefully what it's going to do. Like I said, we're gonna really blow this thing up into a couple different directions. One of them being the YouTube channels and multitudes of those going on at the same time. We're going to be running the books and the teaching materials to re-educate our society in more of a traditional way, the way we were educated, which I don't think is bad. We had pride in our country. We love this place. We built this place because of those beliefs, and it's not a time to abandon those traditional family beliefs that we've always had and held true. Think of Christmas morning. Hopefully, you always had a good Christmas morning. I'm sure some haven't. Always those unfortunate people. But bottom line is, let's get back to that. Back to sitting around. In my mind, it's sitting around like a family watching the Waltons or Little House on the Prairie. Just good, clean stuff, man. It's time in this world to rebel against the Lucifers and what he's doing. Because trust me, he is running rampant. But it's foretold. You can read about it, and there's a story all about it. I'll just tell you about that part. Bye. Peace.